Welcome back, everybody, for the third session of our Dancing Alone Together series. I'm here, of course, with Sersland, who is bringing us the Gangar from Telemark, which you see here on the wall. We're going to start today with just warming up to the music and really getting into the music. And so everybody just up and move.
Kari and I feel better after warming up and getting some of that cold gray weather out of our system, and we would really like to ask Max to come and join us for some of this, but then of course we couldn't join you without him filming us. So the dance we're doing today, Folklore Gangar 21, adapted from Telegangar, and it is originally a couple dance, and it's like a swing dance or a Cajun dance where it's got a number of different figures that are done spontaneously, maybe on the spot, to hardingfele music, hardanger fiddle music. The adaptation that we've done is more like a country western line dance, so it's for one person or for many people, but not attached to each other. And so the first thing that we'd like to do is review the dance for you, Kari. You ready?
Sure.
Okay, so she's going to put Tussen Buchmannhaugen on the record player for us. And we're just going to review the entire dance with the music first, and then we'll get into the different segments and the maneuvers. Thank you for the dance. So now that I've done this a number of times and I'm familiar with the dance, I can start really listening to the music. And the first half of the tune is very structured and gives us some support and rigidity in the various maneuvers that we're doing. And then the second half has this nice soaring, like the rosemelling we were talking about in session 2, where it's got this nice flow and soaring part of the music, and then you can just start feeling that you're making this painting with your hands and your feet. So I'd like to review the segments so that we just get real familiar with them so that you can start soaring to the music also. So there's, the segments are, we have the walk in the first part, and then a twirl and then a walk. Second segment is the crossover, and then facing out crossover. Third segment is the louse, where we're going around our tree stump, or our center, or our outlet, and then back, and then we have a little bridge, 1, 2, 3, 4. So next segment is our backward step, lift, and then finally the backward twirl. So those are the segments. Let's walk through them together, I hope, now that you're warmed up. So we're going to start here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Weights on your right. You're going to turn to face the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Weights on your right. The hanky's on my, or the scarf is on my left foot to show where we're starting always. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Weight, and then stepping left to go into the louse or around our tree step. 6, 7, 8, and then we're going to turn around to go clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and again we're going to change directions in a nice flowing motion. 6, 7, 8, and then there's a little bridge in the music where we're going to walk back 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That way? Oh, Kari's got me on that one. So we're going this way, then we're going to go, thank you, LOD, line of direction, 2, 3, 4, and then our step. Let's give it a little embellishment, ornamentation for 2 8s, and then the backwards twirl. So stepping left, 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and then we're ready to start again.
So you might have noticed that today I'm wearing sort of a folk drakt, or a costume of that sort of traditional costume. And one of the main reasons for doing that is to show you that what we wear and what the clothing and the shoes are like really changes how our bodies move. And when I'm wearing the skirt, then I am not thinking I got to do this turn to get my body around the circle. I'm feeling sort of the weight of the skirt as it's billowing out, and I'm thinking about the blousiness of the arms as I'm working with the louse. Suddenly I feel more flowy and more just sort of real Somali. and so then there's also the shoes. Now you'll notice that I am wearing my old 1970s ski boots, because they are flat and hard and keep my toes in alignment, and they also have a little bit of a heel for me to do these ornamentations that sometimes maybe you've been seeing Carol do during these dances when she starts to really get going. The bunad sko, the shoes that actually go with the bunad, are over here, and I can show these to you. These are Carol's shoes, and they are black, leather soled. Got that nice heel, the silver buckles. So those would be the ones that I would wear if I had them. But in lieu of that. So, and then it's the floor. You know, people who know my work, they know that I go way back in time into the Viking and even earlier eras where they didn't have these nice wooden floors in their homes. And so the dances of those eras were much different. There wasn't a lot of this twirling and swirling and stomping. It was more of this line kind of together community dances with ballad singing and call and response. And so as we move into different eras, the music shifts, the costuming shifts, what we do with our bodies shifts. And so that's just a little something I wanted to add in there.
Kari was talking about the ornamentation and the embellishments, and what we've been doing in the dance is a pretty basic format. But what we'd like to do is go out a little bit further, have a little bit more fun with the dance, starting with the twirling. What I call twirling. A lot of people call it turning. I like twirling. When in doubt, twirl. And we started, and everything we've been starting with it left, and we can continue to do that, which in a way seems a little anti-intuitive, because it's like, oh, I'm going to turn right, but no. Let's start with the left, 2, 3, 4. So you can do a turn, like a single turn on 8 beats, but we're going to try to pump that up. So if let's just say we're going in this line of direction, and starting with the twirl, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then we start again. But if we take a little bit smaller steps, say repeat, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And just with that, you get that skirt going in a big motion, twirling. And then, if we want to combine the twirling with motion forward, so we can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I like it. And then we can do more than 8 beats in a twirl. So what I'd like to do is forward for 8, 16 twirl, and then forward for 8 again. But let's try it with music.
Some people might be wondering about these cultural folk dances and things. And one of the things that we've been talking about a lot is how important it is to have a root culture that we can draw on in order to gain strength and to settle our bodies and to make ourselves useful in these times when we are confronted with racism and injustice in the police and white supremacy coming up, and this whole piece of white supremacy is a kind of a poisonous reaction to a lack of a root culture. When you are doing a Norwegian dance, you are immersing in Norwegian culture, whether you're Norwegian or not. You cease to be a white person, and you are now doing a root culture dance. So for Carol, who grew up with all of this and takes these things for granted, that you have a root culture.
Yes, that ancestry, this is a good thing, but why is it?
Why it's a good thing?
Why does it feel
good?
good?
So that self-study is just really, really important to do right now. So thanks for sticking with us.
Another of the embellishments and interactions that we have within the dance is the laus, or where we're dancing free. And in this case, if you do happen to have another person in your pod, then what we can do is we can connect with that other dancer, but without touching. So there's an energy that's involved between us. There's our eye contact that's involved between us. And what will happen is we will go through the motions, but without anybody telling the other person what to do. Yes. So we're just going to, without music, is just, not just, we're going to dance with each other in a connected way. And then maybe we'll turn and maybe, so I just told Kari, oh yeah, how about this? Then Kari might tell me, oh, how about this? Okay. And then I might tell Kari, how about this? So it's like when you're dancing, Cajun or swing, and you're giving somebody else directions, but this is more suggestive, which makes it more, depending on who you're dancing with. Yeah.
Kari says twirl.
Yeah. So let's do that. Okay. And then eventually, we can actually get back together as a couple if we're doing a couple dance, or we can just go on to the rest of the dance and do our embellishments that way. Thank you.
So you may have noticed that when Carol's really getting into the dance, she might do these little things like something like this, or ha, or those kinds of things. So what's that all about, Carol?
That is about taking the dance from being a static, elegant walk in the park to having some dynamic in the dance. So we're going from this to making it more exciting, more fun, more engaging. And one of those things that one can do, we had the back step, back step lift, step lift. And we just walked, and what we did was we walked into it by 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we walked into it. But there's another way of getting into that, and if we're going forward, so walking forward and giving it a little.
Let's do that again.
Okay.
Walking forward.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2.
Oh, I see.
6,
Okay,
7,
let's do it again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Woo, that's good.
Yes.
Oh my.
And then if you really want to embellish, and you're young and in shape, when you are either going backwards, you can give it a little more.
A deep, deep swift all the way to the tinga.
Yes. So, not that I'm in that kind of shape to do that. But yes, I want to be able to suggest that. But let's do that one more time.
Okay.
Because it is so much fun. And it's also that dynamic of this direction, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3. And just a complete change of directions with the heel slap. And just to know, the heel slap is you bring your hand down to you.
So it isn't that way, it's
No.
this way.
Yep, it's like that. Anyway, let's do it with music.
All right.
Okay.
Gil.
And so Dancing with Kari has reminded me that there is an additional ornamentation to the ornamentation, and that is besides forward and then flipping back, we can actually take that back step and make a turn out of it. So if we are stepping left, flip, left, flip, left, flip, left, flip, and then we're going to start turning to our left, counterclockwise. So we're going to step, lift,
Behind?
right, yes, right, thank you. But left is going to be in front this time. And then step,
Behind.
step, front. It's a little rose-smelling curlicue.
It is a whole new world. Awesome.
So,
Nice.
there you are.
Yeah, so that's beautiful.
Should we try with music?
Okay.
Okay.
Now, I also noticed that sometimes when you end the moves, you go, woo! And is that normal in this dance?
It is normal in this dance.
Excellent.
It's a marking of the end of a musical deck, musical motif, and on into the other one. Or you might be relating to your partner again when we're doing the couple dance, or even when we're doing this dance here. Hey!
Ah, right?
Yeah, so it's a form of communication.
Love it. I love it. So we've sent you some MP3s. Carol has a bunch of links for you in the upcoming email. And what happens if you don't have a fiddle player? So not all of us have a fiddle player hanging around. Oftentimes in the dance, then you would use a voice, the songs, the tunes to be sung. And then there's also a very sort of ephemeral instrument that is sometimes made fresh every spring called Sersland, which is a willow flute. And traditionally, this one's of course made out of PVC pipe. So it is not one that I have made. This is one that I bought in Norway. But it is basically a hollow tube. And then you cut a little mouthpiece, and then you carve a little, another little mouthpiece here where there's a dip, and this is where you blow into. And there's no holes, so you are stuck in whatever key the length of your pipe is. You can do really only what you call nature tonal scales. So and then you can have half tones by covering the end. I don't know if I dare. I think think that's as high as I go. So it's all directed by how much air you're blowing through. So some of these tunes, there's a tune called Gangar, which is a gangar, of course, and it's really one of those fun ones that I learned to sing with my Carol and our singing group, the Nordivas, and it's doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-dum, soodly-doodly-doo-dee-dum, soodly-doodly-doodly-doodly-doodly-doodly-doo-doo, and that's pretty much it. Soodly-doodly-doo-dee-doo, soodly-doodly-doo-dee-doo. Come on, she's like, I can't sit here. Playing with these things. Something to note also, and I'm going to grab my metronome, because we're going to talk about how many beats per minute a gangar tends to be as compared to another dance that we will be introducing in a later program. So, in lieu of any kind of music, you can always download a free metronome app and set it to 86 beats per minute, which is the average beats per minute of a gangar. And so, as we're, I practiced my dance just to this, you know, da, 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 and then the inside piece, 6, 7, 8, and the outside going here. So you can do it with just the beats on the metronome, and I think that's lovely. So there's another dance called the halling, which is also it is Norwegian to the core, and some of these halling moves are very athletic. And a friend of mine, Mats Bolle in Norway, he said, we think it's all the way back to the Bronze Age because you see these krukking with and these different kinds of moves that you do in halling dance on the Stringer, the Bronze Age artwork, as well as in, this is where the string skirt wearing Bronze Age women statues of them doing backflips in nothing but a weighted string skirt. So you know they were going fast because those string skirts could just come right straight up and whack your teeth. But that would happen at around 96. So, and so that would be something to maybe think about. Trying these maneuvers to that speed would be kind of interesting. But we're not going to go deep into that in this session.
Just to understand tempos, and the basic tempo is that 86 beats per minute for a gangar. We have some that feel faster because of the music, or they feel slower because of the tune and how it's played. And that's also the fun part of these dances and the movement is that you get to interpret the various tunes, or if you're hearing a popular tune on the radio, hey,
I think that's Gangar,
yeah,
and just do it, right?
Yes.
Right. So, sort of the tail end, we're going to talk about our, the use of an accordion. We've been really fortunate. I have been extremely fortunate. I couldn't be immersing in my own culture route if it weren't really for Carol and her father bringing this dance, bringing this music, nurturing it in the Twin Cities this way, and moving that legacy forward. And we've been really fortunate to have live musicians.
Yes.
We have a Twin Cities hardingfele lag. We have an incredible musician, Art Bjorn Hjelt, with his accordion and his fiddle, who can play all these different kinds of tunes. We have, just this rich culture here, and that is exciting. And when we are ready to open up to dancing alone together, to dancing together, in this fall, we will be posting about when we're meeting, and we welcome every single person to come and do these dances.
And this is our initial invitation for everyone to join us in these beautiful dances. What is so interesting and frustrating and challenging about hardingfele music is that it is not in nice, tidy, neat sections of 8-bar music like we are used to listening to in our country Western music and in our Cajun music and in our Swedish music. But the fiddlers have the license and an ability to take a motif. For example, what Kari was teaching in Best of Our Grandfather's Gangar. But then they can make it go. Oh, wait a minute. How can we make a dance to that? So to have a dance that is, or a dance form, Folklore Gangar 21, that is doable to many different hardingfele tunes is a challenge. And what Kari and I would like to show you now is Folklore Gangar 21 dance to a different gangar called Tussen.
Tussen means tramp. And so it's, I even heard from a hardanger fiddle player that sometimes the challenge is to mess up the dancers and obscure the rhythm so thoroughly and have a real hoot about that. So this song has a real swirly thing, and so counting is going to be important in our heads,
yes,
in our bodies. Sometimes we're going to have to do it with our mouths. 7, 8, 1, 2. Well, thank you so much for joining us in these 3 sessions of learning Folklore Gangar 21. And we'd like to invite you to send us videos of you doing the dance for us to sort of watch and kind of give feedback or any of that kind of thing.
Know that you're
actually doing it. Also, 7. Mai is 17th of May, a very important Constitution Day in Norway. And so you have a month to rehearse this with yourselves. And then we're going to do a 7. Mai flash mob Folklore Gangar 21 for celebrating Norwegian Constitution Day. Let's see how many people you can introduce to this, and dancing alone together will be that much more beautiful. Hip hip hurrah! Hip hip hurrah! Hip hip hurrah! Hurrah! Hurrah!